Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday, the 10th of August 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use my deck of cards for today's reading, the Gregory Tarot. Let's see what the cards have to say about Tuesday and what the day is going to look like. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards a few times and see what they have to say about the day. So let's see. First we have the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Oh wow, this is a really amazing message. The message I'm getting is that if you sometimes feel like you're an outsider looking in, like you have not been invited or included in the festivities or the events that are going on, you may feel hurt by that. You may feel isolated and like there's something wrong. Ultimately, that sense of being on the outside, similar with the Seven of Wands, she's here by herself, facing some sort of uncertain future, some goal that she wants to attain, and she's going to have to find a way to cross this canyon and to get to the top somehow. So again, she's someone who's on her own and facing difficult circumstances, and the only person who's going to resolve that for her is her. So this may not be the most comfortable place to be in both cards, being somewhat set apart. But ultimately, the cards are saying that it's that sense of, do you know what, I'm responsible for myself, other people have excluded me. That pain and that hurt that initially causes actually transforms into compassion and empathy, which means that you have the time and space and desire to feel for other people and what they may be going through. Here we've got an injured kind of man being rescued by the Mermaid Queen. And it really means that through your own experiences, you have compassion for the plight of other people, and you're able to make a positive contribution to that journey. So everything that you've gone through in life and the things that have felt great and painful and neutral and all sorts of things, the message really is that nothing is wasted and that you're in exactly the right place at the right time with the right experiences. You're basically living your best life now. And rather than seeing the negatives and how far everything is still away from you, focus on what you can do for other people in the here and now who are on a similar journey or who may be struggling and having some sort of challenge. So the cards in themselves, the Five of Pentacles is usually to do with rejection and hard times and illness and difficulty. Here we've got a girl who wants to play football with the boys. We've got this barbed wire fence, and the pentacles representing the institution or an institution, a system of belief, or only boys get to play on this field, whatever it may be, that excludes you and that makes you feel, one, obviously, like they don't want me as part of this group. And second of all, this doesn't happen to everyone, but some people who get rejected by a person or an institution then take that experience and they say, well, obviously this must be evidence that there is something wrong with me. And that's the important thing not to get into. That kind of thinking, try and not let that in today because it's really not helpful. If you have something painful happening in your life, if you are rejected by a group or a person, then that's painful enough. By adding a whole narrative on top of that, saying, oh, well, I must have been rejected not because the other people only wanted to play with the other boys or because it's 15 or over or whatever it may be. If you start telling yourself, well, it must definitely because there's something lacking in me, then you're just giving yourself something else to be upset about. So on this day, try not to tell yourself negative stories and go into defeatist mode. If there is something that feels like you can't make any changes or you have no control over it, or there's something going on that feels painful and difficult, then look at it from another perspective and see, what does this teach me? What does this offer me? So if you have been rejected by a group of people and you see that happening to someone else, I mean, it makes sense. Of course, you're going to feel for that person. And then you're the ideal person to go over and say, hey, don't worry about this. It happens to all of us, because you've been there yourself. You know what it feels like, and you know what you can do to heal from that situation. And on this day, the best thing to do is to take that kind of pain and difficulty and to transform it into something nurturing and loving that you can use to make other people's lives better, and then in return your own life, because what you put out you get back. The Seven of Wands is a card that says you're living your life purpose, you're really focused and driven to get somewhere, but things seem stuck, things seem blocked, you don't find it easy to make inroads on your journey, no one's supporting you, the expectations seem really high, and the work involved seems very, very hard. But the great thing about the Seven of Wands is that no matter what other things look like, or what things look like in your life, or how they feel, or what your perception is, she never gives up. She says, this is my life, this is my purpose. I don't care if I'm on a mountaintop here today, or at the beach, or on a football field. I've got a job to do. I have planned ahead for this. This is my purpose, and I'm going to get there, and nothing is going to stop me. So the best friend you've got is your self-belief and your ability to set goals and to realize that you deserve to live an amazing, fiery, passionate life because you exist. You've gone to the trouble of coming to planet Earth and being born and getting an education. You are entitled to happiness the way anyone else is. And the best way to do that for yourself is, one, to love yourself and to make friends with yourself and to say, I support you in whatever it is you want, even if I don't understand it all the time. You know, sometimes you get an impulse that you don't really understand about yourself. So even if I don't understand myself completely, it's okay. I trust myself, I support myself to get to the place ultimately I want to go. Or I want to discover what my actual goal is. Maybe if I get to the top of the mountain with the added perspective, I'll be able to see it. So that's a type of healing in itself, and it's really priceless, this. If you've been in a situation in your life where you're really at odds with yourself and you don't like yourself, you know how crippling that is. It really undermines everything else that you're doing. Other people pick up on it. Employers pick up on it. The universe responds to it. It's really a very difficult place to be because, one, you're going against yourself, and that's hard enough. But then when the universe conspires to say, okay, well, if that's what you believe in about yourself, then we'll give you more of the same. It just kind of compounds the situation, and it's very difficult to turn that around sometimes. But the Queen of Cups is healing. I often associate the Queen of Cups with a Reiki healer. She's a court card that rules the element of water, the Suit of Cups. It's a feminine element that's about channeling spiritual information and energy, translating it and channeling it through your system into something else that's either creative or healing or loving. And in this case, the Queen of Cups is using kind of Reiki energy, pranic healing energy to heal his wounds. And that's the way she shows her love, because she has this power and she decides to use it when she feels that someone needs healing. So I don't think it's just about healing other people. It's really about getting to a place of, it really doesn't matter what I'm facing in my life. It really doesn't matter who likes me, who dislikes me, who rejects me, who accepts me. What really matters is me. And not in the sense of I'm a megalomaniac, I need to be on stage and get a round of applause and adulation. It's really, I deserve to not torture myself with negative stories. When things happen that are less than ideal, I heal myself by being on my side and saying, I can do this no matter what. And this disappointment isn't going to define me. This isn't going to be the final say on my life. And I'm going to continue on regardless. So the big healing of the day is that you really feel you deserve to be happy. You deserve to make progress. You deserve to find your own tribe, people who don't reject you. And you're going to keep looking until you find that place of, that personal utopia that you've always dreamed of. And again, the message I'm getting is that you have the power and the drive to push on, and to if you don't exactly know what your ideal life looks like, then you push on and you're willing to become aware of what that could look like in future. So you're really your own best friend today. Make the most of that. There are certain things that if you have problems with yourself that will trigger you. You know, if you have a problem with your own behavior when it comes, or your own behavior when it comes to relationship or how you work or what you look like, then there are certain things where you know it's going to be difficult. Like for instance, if you're not happy with the way you look, and then you go to a department store to buy clothing, and you try on that clothing in one of those changing rooms, and you see yourself in the mirror, then that's going to bring up that issue of, do you know what, fundamentally, I don't like the way I look, regardless of all these clothes, and it's going to be painful. But the reality is that whether you're happy with your appearance or not, or your relationships or your behavior, when you accept that you're worth how do I say that? You are so much more valuable than you realize. And just because you don't like everything about yourself doesn't mean that you should stop dead in your tracks and you should stop growing. And that's really what this day gives. It says, even if things are imperfect and there are certain things that I dislike, I can either heal them, come to terms with them, or let them go once and for all by taking this healing energy, applying it to myself, and continuing on my journey no matter what other people say or how difficult the circumstances are or what is going on around me. If I keep pushing, the cards are saying that you will get to where you want to go, but also it's likely that you're able to heal yourself and prove to yourself that you are worth it by actually doing it. But it's also likely that someone else will come into your life surprisingly and will extend a hand of support and comfort and love. And that if you make the effort to move ahead in your own life, then other people are going to make the effort to support you in that journey. That's really interesting, you know, because when people see you trying really hard and working, most people look at that and say, hey, I'm willing to support this person because look, they're working themselves to the bone. But if someone's lying on the couch, you know, with a mimosa saying, oh, poor me, nothing ever good happens to me, then other people seeing that, walking by, they're not going to be inspired to help you because you're not helping yourself. And like I said, helping yourself is really difficult when you're at odds with yourself. So today is great because you're not at odds with yourself. The things that usually bother you are manageable. You're able to take them in your stride and continue to your happy place, regardless of the things that are imperfect or unresolved. And that in itself is the most healing, nurturing, and loving thing you can do for yourself. You're there for yourself, even if other people aren't. So that's an amazing lesson. And because you do it for yourself, remember what you put out, you get back, other people are going to be attracted to you and will want to support you on their journey, or will want to invite you to the club or start a new friendship or form some sort of connection that ultimately is going to feel very nurturing and healing to you. So that's amazing. So anyone who's kind of not 100% about themselves, this is another day to invest in yourself and to really build proof and evidence that you are worth it. It's so interesting, you know, like human beings are very complicated. No animal would ever doubt their own validity or value. It's only we that do that. And I often say this, but the fact that you're here means that you have all the value in the universe because you're doing it right now and in the next moment and in the next moment. I mean, it's not easy being alive. And you get something just for making the effort. I really believe that. Number-wise, we've got 5 and a court card, which is 1. So 5 and 1 is 6, and 6 and 7 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4, and 4 is about structure and security. So by investing in yourself and pushing ahead, you will get to a secure, structured place that gives you a different perspective and sees you healed. So it's a really important day to engage and to engage with the process of life, because it's going to give you something very positive in return for your efforts. Have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.